It's that time once again. Silver Tempest, the second to last set coming out in the Sword and Shield block, second to last set coming out this year, is coming out on November 11th. We're just a couple weeks away, and finally we have a complete set list full of the regular cards, the trainer gallery, and the alternate arts and secret rares that are going to be in the set. So that means we need to do our top 10. The top 10 is not the best top 10 cards to buy from the set. It is my top 10 favorite cards from the set. Make sure to let me know in the comments below what your top 10 favorite cards from the set are, or just what's your favorite card from the set. Let's hop right into it. First, we have the number 10 card, in my opinion, in the set is this Incineroar. It's the only card from the, I guess, the regular cards, commons, uncommons, rares. I just love this. I know there's been a trend of people really liking the sleeping Pokemon, like Sleepy Tyranitar, Sleepy Dragonite. There's a lot of like sleepy versions or alternate arts, but I really like this one because it's funny. It includes more Pokemon in the actual artwork as well. You can see the Cursola and Love Disc back in the aquarium back there. I love the giant kind of anime snot bubble coming out of his nose, and it's just hilarious. Like, Incineroar is massive. He's like a wrestling cat. I couldn't imagine him like laying out like one of my little house cats, just enjoying a snooze. So I just think it's a really cute card. I really like it a lot. That's why it's number 10. The number 9 card is Lance. I really like Lance. Takes me back to the days back when Pokemon games were good, in my opinion. I know that's going to be controversial. I'm an old boomer. Gen 4 remakes of Heart Gold and Soul Silver are my favorite Pokemon games ever. Lance was one of those Pokemon trainers, champions, that not only showed up in the game as like a side quest character, he took you through the Rocket Hideout. I think in Gen 2, he was also the champion that you had to fight. And I just remember having so much trouble with all of his Dragonairs and Dragonites and all of his dragon Pokemon just kicking my ass over and over again. And I think that this artwork is just really badass. The number 8 card is the character rare for Milotic, or Milotic, however you want to say it. I'm not really sure, but I really like this Pokemon. I think it's one of the better. It's kind of like the Magikarp Gyarados of whichever gen it came, Gen 4? I don't remember. I think it's Gen 4 that Milotic came from, but it's basically like Feebas is like this disgusting looking ugly ass fish, kind of like Magikarp, but then it turns into this beautiful, you know, kind of dragon looking fish Pokemon eel thing that is Milotic. And I really like the kind of exertion of power. You can see all of the columns of water coming up from the ground. You have a nice reflection. You have the trainer in the background kind of calling out the actual attack or whatever it is. And there's some amazing vintage artworks of Milotic 2 that you guys gotta check out. They're super good. Number 7, we have this character super rare, character secret rare, the black border character rare that's a little harder to pull. I really like this superior character rare. I think that's also Rosa, correct me if I'm wrong, next to him. It's one of those where it really shows the Pokemon, like, if they were out on the journey to become champion, and they happen to be coming from, you know, this beautiful mountainous area. I'm not a huge fan of Superior as a Pokemon, but I just really like this design, and it makes me actually appreciate Superior a little bit more, because I think Superior by itself doesn't really strike me, you know, as like, oh, that's a really cool design. But when you put Superior's design into the world with the trainer, with a detailed background and environment, I actually really like how Superior fits in. The number 6 card is this character secret rare, character super rare, and it is the Mawile. I really like this. I really like Sunsets. Now, here's the thing. I really like Mawile. I think Mawile is super underrated. One of the coolest designs, in my opinion. It's really fun juxtaposition of like, oh, it's so cute, and then this giant like Venus flytrap with fangs, you know, coming off the back of its head. I really like the design a lot. I think it's really cool. Now, the trainer, I don't like at all. Bidet. I call it Bidet because I thought the character was shit in the games. I didn't like it. I didn't like Bidet at all. I think it might be Beady or Bead or whatever it is, but not a huge fan of that particular character or trainer from the Sword and Shield games. I love the angle as well. I feel like it's super dynamic. You can see the Spearow or the Pidgey that are up in the sky. Oh, there's another character. There's 2 characters in this. I don't know if you can see, but next to Bidet's knee is the granny, like the old lady, I think, from Sword and Shield as well. Let me know in the comments, who is that? That is really cool. There's actually 2 trainers in this Mawile artwork. All right, next up is another character secret rare, super rare. This is the Blaziken. I really like Blaziken, one of my favorite of the fire starter. I think a lot of the fire starters are great, and I really like this whole angle and everything that's happening here. He's doing some sort of like somersault flip kick. I don't know. It's insane. It's super cool looking. I really like it a lot. It's super colorful. It just looks great. Silver Tempest is the set of Lugia. I would expect you guys to absolutely destroy me if I didn't at least include 1 or 2 Lugias, because there's like 8 Lugia cards coming out with Silver Tempest. It's absolutely insane. This one, I think, is one of the best. It's the second best. And it's from Mitsuhiro Rita, of course. This card is just awesome because not only do you have a lot of water splashing up, you got water splashing through the backs of the artwork and everything, you also have a nice rainbow kind of coming through. I hope that's actually on the card. Like that is a rainbow on the card and not just kind of showing, you know, the shininess that you might see from a normal V, because I think including a rainbow like that makes sense because you have a lot of the water splashing up and stuff. You know, when it rains and then it gets sunny, you're going to see a rainbow. So it makes sense within the artwork. It's just super detailed. Arita brings it once again. Lugia looks badass in this card. I can't wait to pull it personally. All right, number 3 is the Unknown alternate art. We haven't seen Unknown, I feel like, in a long time, especially in an ultra rare. I feel like maybe since, I don't even know. It might be since WotC times with the holographic Unknowns from the Neo sets. I thought this was really cool, and I think someone pointed out, and I could be wrong, but all of the Unknowns arranged on the card actually spell out the name of the attack. I'm not 100% sure on that, but as you guys know, the Unknown is like a decipherable alphabet. Each Unknown represents a letter in the English alphabet. And obviously you can see we are at the Ruins of Alph. So the Ruins of Alph in Gen 2 are where you find the Unknowns. So it's nice that they actually included the setting from the actual game in the card. It ties it all together. And it's really nice to see Unknown. Now we just need to get a Missing No card. I know that Missing No is not actually a Pokemon, but it would be super cool if Pokemon would lean into Missing No and give us a Missing No card someday. I think that would be really cool. Number 2 is this Duraludon VMAX Trainer Gallery card. I love this design. I think when we did the VMAX Climax top 10, this was also in my top 10 for that. Not only do I think that Raihan was actually kind of a cool trainer, the fact that he's standing on top of a skyscraper that's screaming to the skies, and you have all of this kind of pressure exuding out from the Pokemon, it just looks super badass. Like in that moment, I would be terrified. I'd be getting goosebumps if I was the other trainer about to fight a freaking skyscraping dragon with its trainer just going full on its head. I'm not a huge fan of Duraludon otherwise. I think it's kind of it's an interesting design, but it's kind of not very functional, especially for a dragon type. But I just think this card is super badass. It's kind of like the Rose Eternatus card. Like, I'm not a big fan of Eternatus at all. I just think he's kind of a collection of shapes with some eyes. But the combination of the trainer and Pokemon really kind of ties it together and makes it super badass. I'm sure you guys couldn't have guessed it. The number 1 card in the set, absolutely, and anyone that says that this artwork is bad is insane. This card is badass. This card is super awesome, and it really reminds me, I know a lot of people have been saying this, but it reminds me of the Shining Gyarados card from back in Neo, because in Shining Gyarados, you had the Gyarados coming out of the water, and you had the guy in the boat that was like rocking, and he's looking up like, oh god. It's kind of the same thing. You have a fisherman or a guy in a boat, and obviously you have this gigantic Lugia coming out of the water, flying over your boat, giving you the side eye like, what the hell are you doing? Are you overfishing my ocean? I just think this is super cool. I actually really like the angle and the shot. I know a lot of people have been calling it, you know, the butt shot of Lugia or whatever. It's not really. I mean, you can see his head. It's cool. He's flying over. He's showing how imposing and gigantic he is. And then he's giving the trainer the side eye like, what the hell are you doing in my ocean? So I actually think this looks really cool. But yeah, this is definitely the best card in the set. Lugia is one of the best legendaries ever, and to see a Lugia alternate art, kudos. Good job. Good job. Thank God. We finally got one, guys. Before I head out, I just want to let you guys know, Silver Tempest is going to be the last set that includes the character rares, at least for a while. It was confirmed by PokeBeach that the trainer galleries will be done after this particular set. So I think that's kind of sad. I really like the trainer gallery cards. I think it makes opening booster boxes and opening packs a lot more fun when you can get something in that slot, that reverse holo slot. That's not just a reverse holo, that you can still expect to pull something out of a pack with a bad code card. I do think we've seen in the V-Star Universe set that they are going to have something similar, but it just includes the Pokemon. So it's not a Pokemon in trainer. It could be Pokemon with multiple Pokemon, but it has the same borders as a character rare would have. So I'm assuming it will show up in the same slot. If we go back to sets where the pull rates are like 1 in 1,000 for some of the better cards, and then there's nothing in the reverse holo slot, like nobody wants to open up a set like Evolving Skies. It feels bad, man. After the second half of Sword and Shield sets where you could pull something out of every single pack, and then all of a sudden we're gonna jump into like terrible pull rates and nothing in the reverse holo slot, and it's just gonna be brutal if they go that route for the first Scarlet Violet set. But we'll see. Let me know in the comments below, what's your favorite card from Silver Tempest? This set comes out the day that I leave for Japan, so I won't be doing any opening videos for this set. We'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.